right, everybody, welcome back to part 2. This is Dan and Dave from FFB from the 50.
Or Dave Dan.
What?
Or Dave Dan.
No,
Dave.
I'm Dan. Dan.
He's Dan.
You're Dave. You're going to confuse him.
True.
All right, so we are back with part 2. We're doing a breakdown of a money league that I drafted, and we're going to go round by round again. So we're past the first 4 rounds. We're going to start with round 5. We're really going to start moving a little bit quicker here. This is going to be more of, hey, what's your favorite pick? What's your least favorite pick? Obviously, as always in this channel, defend your reason why. No, Dave's head is not smoking. We have a grill going out back. This is, we decided to go ahead and tailgate here while we make this video.
It smells delicious.
It does smell good already. So, Dave, let's get back into this here. So, we talked about the first 3 rounds specifically, but even 4, you don't win your league, but you can lose your league, team or your league pretty quick there.
Yeah, and there's a couple teams set up right now that are looking like they're going to be in the bottom well of this league.
I mean, if everything breaks right,
if they don't pull it together, it's going to be rough going.
Yeah, if everything breaks right, they're going to be okay. But let's get into this because my personal philosophy. I've said it. I want to fill the first 3, specifically the first 3, but the 4th round is also important with guys that may not be the most exciting, but I don't want to risk my league ending, like not doing well in the first 3 rounds, the first 4 rounds. I like to use rounds, 5, 6, 7 to kind of fill in my roster so I can take my shots, hit my home run, swing for the fences in later rounds.
And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for your biggest value and also your second tier for bye weeks is what you're looking for. People that are going to be consistent with what your starters are going to produce. Mm-hmm. So, or close to it. Yeah, you may have to sacrifice a little bit of points, but you never know. You might hit a matchup that works in your favor.
Yeah,
so it just kind of depends.
All right, so let's get into this. Let's just dive right in. So with the first pick in the 5th round, the team took Alvin Kamara. I don't hate that pick.
No,
I don't love that pick, but at the same time,
it's a safe pick.
It is. Volume alone, I don't like the Saints' offense this year. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. A lot of question marks.
He's going to get touches.
He's going to get his touches.
So whether he stays healthy is the question.
Yeah, yeah. And at this point, that team had drafted pretty well. They could afford to be flexible and go whichever direction they really kind of wanted to right there. Now, also, we keep preaching know your league settings. So in this league, you do have to start 2 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And almost
the point settings are different. So
point settings are different. So just as a reminder to reiterate what we said before, in these public prize leagues on Yahoo, quarterbacks only get 4 points for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. PPR, it's only half point, not a full point. But the other setting that you really need to keep in mind is you're not starting 1 running back, you're starting 2. You only start 1 flex, but you have to start 2 running backs.
Right.
And I go running back early, I go running back often, especially in this specific situation.
In this specific league, it makes more sense to go running back first than it does to go wide receiver first, especially if you're drafting in the earlier rounds. If you're drafting in the later rounds, it's even more important to go running back.
Yeah.
So if you're drafting, like for what I was saying, is if you're drafting 8, 9, 10. You're going to be more apt if they're starting to take 2, 3 running backs in that 1, 2, 3, 4 slot. You're going to be more apt. I need to take running backs in this league.
Yep.
So you would be pulling those running backs off the line before you would be pulling wide receivers or quarterbacks in that sense.
And like I told you too, it's all a matter of not only where you draft, but you have to try to anticipate what's going to be available when your pick comes back around. Now there is something we haven't talked about, and we're going to really harp on it when we look at the next draft in the next video series. And that is if you're drafting towards the front or the back. So if your picks 1, 2, 9, or 10, sometimes you may have to reach for a guy because it's going to be a long time before it comes back to you. I already had told you, I've done enough mocks, enough actual drafts that when I'm looking at this, I was comfortable with the drafting early with pick 2 or pick 1. I was comfortable with my running back options, not so much my wide receiver options that were going to be there. AJ Brown, Ladd McConkey. If you want to know my feelings on that, go back to the first video and watch that. But here my pick is up. I took Mike Evans in the 4th as my wide receiver 1. I went ahead and went with another wide receiver here because I'm really high on this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, that's a great pick. I mean, he's very high, and I'm telling you right now, Bo Nix is going to have a heck of a year. I believe in Sean Payton and what he did with Drew Brees down there, and I mean, I think Bo Nix is in a great place. And on top of that, Denver has an offensive line.
They have a really good offensive line.
So, and they have a defense.
Here's your 80s reference. Bo knows.
Yeah,
Bo knows. So I like Cortland Sutton. So now my team, I feel like 2 really good running backs. I've got my quarterback.
Very solid. And I've got 2 very consistent.
Yeah, 2 good wide receivers that I trust. So going through the rest of these picks,
the next pick was James Conner, which I think that's honestly a stretch. He has his moments, but he's not a consistent.
And the thing with James Conner, I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes here, so I apologize if you hear this in the background, swiping these away. We need that smoke from that grill. To really. No, you're good. You're good.
I got it.
But we are definitely getting swarmed here. But the thing about James Conner is it's not an exciting pick. It's not. But James Conner is solid. We're in the 5th round. So the team that took James Conner, they've got a team that already has Marvin Harrison Jr. They already have Josh Allen. They already have Puka Nacua, and they already have Saquon Barkley. If you're going to take Saquon Barkley as your surefire number 1 running back in a league where you have to start 2, I don't necessarily hate the James Conner pick just because even if he is not spectacular, he is at least solid. The next pick is a guy that I'm fading. He did really, really well for me last year, but I'm fading him this year, and that's Chuba Hubbard. And there's a couple different reasons for that. I do feel like Carolina's offense is going to be better than what they were last year, but they went in and brought in Rico Dowdle, who was a 1,000-yard rusher last year for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he's serving as the number 2, but we know that he's capable of producing 1,000 yards on the ground. I like Chuba, don't get me wrong, but I also think that Bryce Young actually took a step forward a little bit last year as well. They got some passing options. I'm a little higher on the passing game and not so much the running game. But again,
what do you have left out there? I mean, that's a pretty decent pick for what's out there.
For what's out there, it's not bad. It's really not bad. It makes me nervous, but yeah, it's probably the last proven commodity at running back available at that point. Now, there's other running backs that you could argue have higher upside, but also have lower floor, and we're going to get right into that with the very next pick here, TreVeyon Henderson. Mm-hmm. I love TreVeyon Henderson. I used my first-round pick in Dynasty to pick TreVeyon Henderson.
Now, the difference is, Dynasty, you're going to put a contract on him and keep that player for 1, 2, or 3 years. So, depending on how your setup is, that's the difference. In a round like this with the PPR, you're not going to pick him first round. You're going to pick him. You're going to pick him in a 5th or 6th round setting, and you're going to basically go for the ceiling because there is a floor because he's young, but at the same time he has any ways to improve. So
yeah, and the thing is I don't want to have to rely on him this year. Maybe in a flex, but if you have to rely on him as a starting running back, it's a little scary. So this guy, this is his RB number 2, so he's going to have to slide in, or you're drafting him here assuming that he's going to slide in as a starter. Jahmyr Gibbs is his number 1. He's now got a rookie, unproven rookie at number 2, and who I think is better than Ramondre Stevenson, but Ramondre will probably start out as the team's number 1 this year. Next pick is just insane value. This might be my favorite pick of the entire draft. This person missed out on that first run of the quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. But if you notice, there wasn't anybody taken in the 4th round quarterback-wise. It was running back, wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver, running back.
That's a steal.
So this guy comes back here in the 5th round, and he gets the last true dual-threat quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. That is just tremendous value.
It is. There's nothing even more to say. It's just a good value pick in round 5.
Yep.
That really is. Based on the league settings.
Yeah,
I like number 7, too.
Yeah, 7 is Davante Adams. Now, everybody can argue that Puka Nacua is the number 1 there. I agree. Davante Adams is too good to just go away.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter who's throwing it to him.
And that's what I was going to say. Yeah. So we talked in the first video. So go back when we were talking about Puka Nacua.
Yes.
About Matt Stafford's injuries.
I am so glad you can pronounce these because I am not very good at pronunciation.
Yeah, I can pronounce these guys sometimes, hopefully. Devin Ashane took me a little while. Yeah. Still not 100% sure I got it correct.
Yeah. I'm more like Aaron.
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 But I like Davante here. It's value. This guy doesn't have to rely on him to be a number 1 wide receiver on his team, even if he's nothing more than a flex, and Jimmy Garoppolo has to start.
Right, but even if Jimmy Garoppolo stops, he's a very capable quarterback. And on top of that, you're looking at Kanua. Somebody's drawing a double team. So is it going to be Adams or is it going to be him? And then if you're going to run a cover 4 where you're blocking the corners, they're going to eat you up all day because they're going to find the spots to sit. So I mean, you're kind of running when you go cover 0, then you're man on man, and that's going to be can Garoppolo find you quick enough.
And the thing is we already know that Davante Adams is wily enough and experienced enough that they can line him up at any one of the wide receiver positions and move him all over the field, and he's going to find the open spot. That's just what he does. Next pick I absolutely hate. And it's not that I don't like R.J. Harvey. I like R.J. Harvey. I want to make sure that's crystal clear, but J.K. Dobbins is number 1.
Yeah, and you're fighting for time there, and on top of that, I think he's a rookie, isn't he?
He is a rookie, and to make matters even worse, this fellow's RB1.
Yeah.
And wait till you see who his RB2 is in the next round.
Yeah, so that's a very bad pick.
I'm a little concerned for this team. Glad I'm playing against them and not them. Mm-hmm. R.J. Harvey, a rookie that's number 2 on the depth chart, is going to be his RB1. Next pick, absolutely love. Another tremendous value. DK Metcalf.
It's a great value. Just got to figure out who's slinging it to him.
Yep, and all the reports coming out of camp say Aaron Rodgers was really upset. He wants to make sure that everybody knows it wasn't him last year. It was the Jets' dysfunction. And apparently he's looking pretty good in camp. Maybe this is his last season, but it sounds like, I hate to say this, but old Aaron may still have a few bullets left in that arm.
I think he does. I think he's more upset that he had to switch out his helmet.
Yeah, I heard about that. And then quite possibly my second least favorite pick of this entire draft.
I don't know why you would pick Xavier Worthy at that spot.
So this team right here, and we're going to get into this in the next rounds too. This team took Xavier Worthy as their their wide receiver one.
Wide receiver one.
Wide receiver one, Xavier Worthy, who did absolutely nothing last year. And then we'll just segue right into round 6 here. They followed up with Rashee Rice, and now they got back-to-back wide receivers
on the same team. So now you're competing for your number 1 and number 2 wide receiver, competing for catches from your quarterback, who also has Travis Kelce plus Inco Pacheco in the backfield.
And Hollywood Brown.
Yep. And all that. And so, like, if you wanted anybody from the Kansas City Chiefs this year, I think you check into Kelce, because Kelce has come to camp with an attitude this year.
He has, and his value is tremendous. You don't have to spend a first or second round pick on him. So, hate that combo. And then the funny part is, and I don't want to spoil this, we'll get to it eventually, but this team actually went with 4 Kansas City Chiefs in a row.
Oh boy.
You know, we talked about the value of Pacheco and especially Kelce. We're going to see that coming up here.
All right, well, let's wrap this up so I can cook some burgers and get our little grub going here.
All right, so we're just going to rapid fire here through this round. Jamison Williams with the second pick in the 6th round, another pick I do not like. Jamison Williams
kind of stretching here. There's probably a little better value out there for different wide receivers, but as looking through the round, like, you know, it's hard to say. Like, I'm a big fan of DJ Moore, which I think he got picked up in this round.
He did. So by guess who?
Mm-hmm. By me. Yes, by. Yeah.
So James, it just feels like a reach. Not saying he won't have a good year. It just feels like a reach. Caleb Johnson is Super K. Sorry, I shouldn't be mentioning names. Caleb Johnson is this team's number 2 RB. Remember, they took R.J. Harvey in the 5th.
So now this team right here, call them the Soups. They're in trouble. Like, I just don't see where they're going to come up with points. They're going to probably get annihilated every week. They may win 1 or 2, but it's not going to be because they're
so risky.
Yeah, it's risky. Super. But the other side is too, if you can't risk it, you can't get the biscuit. So
this is true, but I mean,
that's a little stretch,
little too much
in
for
a money
me.
league. So
pick number
that. Now I do. Now I'm not bad with coming next with Joe Burrow. I mean, he's going to sling it. It's just whether they can catch it.
So here's the thing. Burrow is a non-dual threat quarterback, but like we said, we didn't have any going round 4. We only had one going round 5. That was Jalen Hurts, the last dual threat.
And you're really out of them now. So.
Yeah. Now, if you still wanted to go dual threat there, you had Justin Fields available, but this guy wanted the safer.
Yeah.
And
Fields
floor.
is questionable. So as much as I liked him as a Bear, it's still questionable.
Yep. Next pick, I really like DeAndre Swift. You get a team's RB1 in the 6th round. I don't feel like you can ever go wrong. There's value there.
There's value, but at the same time, that team is loaded with talent, so it all depends on who's going to get the ball.
Indeed.
So.
But again, an RB1 in the 6th round. Yeah. Jordan Mason, this pick kind of actually ticked me off a little bit. I am targeting Jordan Mason in every single league I can. I think Aaron Jones will be done by halfway through the season and back in the nursing home.
I agree. I agree with you.
But that was too early. That was too early, especially, you know, when – I guess maybe the Travion Henderson pick in the 5th round.
But, I mean, he's stocking up on his running backs, and your running backs are running thin. So, I mean, I can understand the logic. Mm-hmm. So,
and I get it. Running backs are going quick. But he put himself in that situation.
Well,
that's nobody's fault but his own.
I said you win them, you can win and lose in your first and 3. So.
Yep. Pick number 7, Devonta Smith. I'm not a fan of Devonta. I don't draft Devonta. Again, a low passing volume offense. AJ Brown's the number 1.
He's so sketchy too. It's like 1 week he'll be really good, next 2 weeks he'll be bad.
No consistency.
None. And then I really do like Sam Laporta pick on the next pick for number 8.
Yep. Here come the tight ends.
Yeah, I think he's a great tight end. Golf uses him quite a bit. I think that's a wonderful pick up there for that team. So, and then you came back with DJ Moore, a fantastic pick, and in my mind, I think he's going to have a monster year if the offense gets going. So,
not a bad wide receiver 3.
No, not at all. So, and a wide receiver 3, because he could very well be a wide receiver 1 on some teams. Mm-hmm. So, and they very well could turn into that by week 4, just depending on how
especially
the offense goes.
With the word coming out of camp that they're putting him in the backfield, they're moving him in the slot, they're moving him out of the X.
They're basically getting him the ball.
Yep,
so
the goal is to force feed DJ Moore this year.
And then I don't mind the Zay Flowers pick either, except he's more of a a deep threat, but I mean, he does have his touches every now and then, and he's good for a touchdown. So
Another player that's very streaky and a run heavy offense, but yep, I get it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back here with round 7 shortly.
Yep, we're gonna eat some burgers.